Well, hello, everybody. It's Bob. And in this episode of Real Retail TV, we're going to explore how you can make 2026 your best year ever. First of all, congratulations. You made it through the 2025 holiday season. You made it through the year of 2025. I think we can all agree that it was an interesting year. And for most of us, we're glad to have it in the past and we can look forward to the future. And so I know that some of you are going to think that I'm going to talk about how do you set better goals and all those things. And I love goals. I think that they are motivating. In our Platinum Mastermind group, the winter meeting, we always set annual goals. I like goals, but let's break it down a little bit and talk about how we can make that process a lot more effective. When you think about goals, there's two types of goals. There's outcome goals and there's process goals. And most people create outcome goals. I want to grow by 20%. I want to do $5 million. I want to vacation in Tahiti for 3 weeks. You know, there's a thing that is associated with the goal. And don't get me wrong, outcome goals are valuable, but they're often not achieved because they're not correct. So what I like to recommend over outcome goals is process goals. You know, process goals are what you're going to do to get to that outcome. So let's just say that you want to grow by 20% next year. That's an outcome goal. A process goal would be, I'm going to have 35 in-store events this year, or I'm going to up my email marketing, or I'm going to train my salespeople how to sell, right? Go put them on the Retail Sales Academy. I'm going to learn these skills. I'm going to spend time doing this thing. So your goal is based around activities and behaviors that get you where you want to go. You still want to have that outcome, but when you focus on doing the right work, doing the right things, the probability that you're going to get there increases dramatically. But what I'd like to suggest here, and what I'd encourage you to think about, is to go a step deeper. And that is asking yourself, who am I going to be? What traits, what skill, what do I want to become that will lead me to that goal? And so you want to think about it. So let's use the example of I want to grow 20%. And then you decide to put your team through the Retail Sales Academy. And the first thing you know, you're going to run into some problems, right? And so a trait, and this what I'm talking about, what I'm suggesting here, becoming who you should be, you would say, I'm a person who keeps a commitment to myself. So if I give my word to myself, that thing is going to be done. So if you're going to put your people through the Retail Sales Academy and selling is going to be part of the culture of your business, guess what? You are the kind of person who does not let roadblocks get in the way. So who you are will determine what you do, and what you do will determine what you get. So, that's an example of this trait. I'm the kind of person who keeps my word to myself. Here's a couple other examples. Integrity is a trait. Integrity, I act with integrity. Curiosity is a trait. I am a curious person. By the way, curiosity is a wonderful, almost necessary trait for entrepreneurs, right? You've heard me talk about this before, that this idea that don't get furious, get curious. That anytime you run into a problem, it points to the need to develop a new skill. So curiosity becomes part of your growth mindset. When you run into a problem, you don't get frustrated. Well, you do get frustrated, but you turn that frustration into a curiosity about the skill you need to develop, about the belief you need to change, about the mindset you have to adapt. So every problem becomes an opportunity. And that idea of curiosity and making yourself a more curious person is one of the things that I'm suggesting is a possibility. Decisiveness is another trait that you might consider embracing this year. So many entrepreneurs I know, they think about something, they know it's going to be good for their business, but they don't do it. They don't pull the trigger on it. Whether that is investing in a course or spending the time to read a book, but decisive, firing somebody. You all know what I'm talking about, right? Making the hard decisions and then doing the deed that goes along with the hard decisions. I'll just share a quick story here that just popped into my head. When I speak live about leadership and development and management, when I talk about this whole idea of you have people on your team who need to go, I always say, how many people here in this room have somebody on their team that needs to go, needs to be fired? Always, fully a third of the room raises their hand. Often it's half. Guess what? Why don't those people do the thing that needs to be done? Why don't they fire somebody? Why don't they release them back into the industry? It's because they're not decisive. And so decisiveness may be the trait that you need to develop in 2026 to get the results that you want. For me, personally, mine is presence. I'm going to work really hard in 2026. I spent some time on it in 25. 26 is going to be the year of presence, that I'm doing what I'm doing. If I'm with Susan, I'm with Susan. If I'm here in the office, I'm not being distracted by social media. I'm not looking in my inbox every 10 minutes. What I'm doing, I'm doing. I'm going to work on more direct eye contact. I'm going to work at being in the moment that I am in. I know that for myself, and I know for almost everybody, our brains are filled up with too much past, too much future, and not enough now. For me, 2026 is the year of now. So think about becoming something different, becoming something better in 2026, and then just make that your commitment and come back to it again and again. Figure out what you're going to do to develop this trait. For me, every morning when I journal, you all know that I've been journaling every day since 1997. I am writing my intention. And almost every day, my intention is going to be, I am going to be present in whatever I am doing. So every morning, I'm going to remind myself of that better person I want to be. So let's talk about something here to finally wrap this up. Here is what I believe you should do to get what you want. Too many people think, oh, I want to get this thing. I want to have a $5 million a year business. I want to have 10 stores. They start with what they want, and then they say, if I do these things, I'm going to get what I want. But they start with the want. And I'm going to suggest that a more effective way to get what you want is, first of all, to be the right person. So Jim Rohn has a great quote. He says, yes, you want to be a millionaire, but you don't want to be a millionaire to have $1 million, although it's nice to have $1 million. You want to become a millionaire because you've done the things you need to do. You've become the kind of person who is worthy of being a millionaire. So do the things. So first of all, think about what you have to be, because when you are the right person, you do the right things. And when you do the right things, you get what you want. So it's sort of counterintuitive, but I thought I'd lay that out for you in the beginning of 2026. Think about what you want to be. Think about what you have to do to be that person. And then every day, show up. Every day, become that person. And when you become your best version of yourself, everything else is going to fall into line. So I have a request. Please put in the comments down below, what is that trait that you would like to adopt? Who do you want to become? I would love to hear from you. And finally, Power Promotions is happening January 13th. So if one of the things that you want is to build your sales, I would encourage you to be the kind of person who registers, who shows up with a notepad and is ready to learn, who is curious about how you can build a better promotional calendar, how you can be a better marketer. I guarantee it's going to be an amazing day with me and Susan. And yes, I mean, when I say I guarantee, that is not rhetorical. There is a guarantee. If you're not thrilled with what you learn at Power Promotions, call the office. We'll give you all of your money back. So anyway, I'm Bob, and we'll see you again next week.